morning. Good afternoon, spoiled agents. Where are you tuning in from? I want to hear where you are coming in on Facebook land. Hello to all of you and all across beautiful Canada. Where are you visiting us from? I know that I would rather be in this beautiful place that we're going to talk about today, but I won't talk too much detail about why. And I know that you all agree with me. It's Sabrina from Spoiled Agent, and I'm here today with Mr. Kyle Christian, who is the Marketing and Communications Manager with Antigua Barbuda. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy to see everyone joining. I know it's a busy time of year, so really appreciate that all of the agents took some time out to spend their lunch with us.
Yes, it is. It is very busy. They're booking away, I'm sure, to your beautiful Twin Islands.
Yeah, I hope
And
so.
after today, so much more. So I'll do a few housekeeping notes and then I'll let you get started so we don't take too much of your lunch hour and you can get back to those bookings and your customers. So just remember, please help us out with adding your questions to the Q&A box. As you, Mr. Kyle Christian here, he's the marketing and communications manager. I mean, he knows this destination like no one's business. So ask away because you've got a great resource here. And we want to spoil you. So we're going to answer each and every one of the questions that you ask us at the end of the session. Now, keep the chat for the fun stuff. Hi, Sonia. Rebecca's coming to Antigua. Woo, lucky.
Okay, nice, Rebecca.
Nice. Take me with you. Okay, so things like that, that's great in the chat. We love to see the chat. We love to see your reactions. Remember your hearts. Show our hosts all your love for the things you love since we can't be unmuted. Now, this session will be recorded and posted, of course, on their page in Spoiled Agent. And as long as you stay on until the Q&A, you're going to qualify for a lovely prize. Do you want to say what that is, Kyle?
Yeah, we have a $50 Amazon gift card, so that will just help to top up your Amazon account. We know everyone's doing the holiday shopping, so just a little gift from us for those who are able to stay on the call until the end.
Perfect. And now if you have to run because you're calling your favorite client to tell them about how amazing Antigua Barbuda is, we forgive you. Just you can come back and watch the recording, of course. And without further ado, I'll let you take it away, Kyle.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Perfect. And I'll give you the thumbs up when I hear your beautiful music. How's that?
Sorry?
I'll give you a thumbs up when I hear your
Oh,
beautiful
yeah, yeah. Give
music.
me a thumbs up because, once I'm
We can all
sharing.
do it. Ready, guys? We can practice. There we
Oh,
go.
I like to always start off with a little bit of inspiration. We have a little video for you just to get you in the Antigua and Barbuda vibe. So let us begin. Okay, so I'm trusting that everyone heard that. That was a campaign from a few years ago, what cool looks like. But it's still a great video, which really kind of showcases what Antigua has to offer beyond the beach. We know the beach is great, which is why I have it in the background here. But the beach is just the beginning, as we say, and there's so much more to the destination than the beach, so much more for your clients to do. So we always want to remind you of that. Okay, so I have a very exciting presentation today, which is what's new for the winter 2024 into 2025. We love to bring you updates on what's happening in destination that you can share with your clients. Some of them are going to be like ready to go for the winter season. Others are going to come a little bit further down, but we just want to make sure you have all of that great information. So, before we jump right in, I just wanted to begin with some essentials. We know that we have a variety and a diversity of agents on this call. So some of you are Antigua and Barbuda veterans, you know everything. Others of you just maybe new to the business, you're just kind of learning about the destination. So we want to level set to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so Antigua and Barbuda is accessible to Canada out of Toronto. It's about a 4 to 4.5 hour flight direct, no stops coming out of Toronto. We are a small island, 170 square miles for the two islands combined. So it's two separate islands, but together they make one nation. And combined 170 square miles or about 440 square kilometers. And the population is only about 100,000. So very small, very intimate. It does feel like everyone knows everyone, which is part of the appeal of Antigua and Barbuda. And we use the Eastern Caribbean dollar, which is about 1 to 2 with the Canadian. We're actually pegged to the US dollar, and the Canadian has been kind of slipping in recent months. So it might be a little less than 1 to 2, maybe it's about 1 to 1.9. But it floats around in that region. And I'm recovering from a cold, so please forgive me if I have to clear my throat. But we have daily non-stop flight service to Antigua and Barbuda this winter season, 5 times a week, which is really great. So lots of flexibility for your clients to get down to the islands. We have with WestJet, Air Canada, and Sunwing. So this basically it's already started from late October into November, and it goes right down to the mid to end of April. And then the summer schedule comes in. But right now for the winter, lots of connectivity. And again, this is all out of Toronto Pearson. Okay, so let's talk about what's new. First off, we want to talk about some infrastructural things. It really just demonstrates how the government and people of Antigua and Barbuda are investing in the destination so that we can welcome guests from around the world and, of course, right here out of Canada. So first up, you might have heard about this, but we're sharing the really great news that the Barbuda International Airport opened in October 3rd. It's pretty significant for the island. The Barbuda always needed to be reached out of Antigua. So you'd fly into Antigua and then you get over to Barbuda either on a ferry or a small twin propeller plane, catamaran, helicopter. Those are some of the options to get over there. But now, with its own international airport, Barbuda will very soon be able to take direct international flights. And Barbuda is being developed really as an escape getaway kind of island, very high end, very luxury. We're going to hear a bit more about in this presentation, but we just wanted to let you know that there is a new airport there. It's 6,100 feet of runway. There's also a 600-foot parking apron on the runway, full LED lighting, and it can accommodate private jets and larger aircraft as well. So Barbuda is being well positioned to welcome more guests. Also, it was announced this year that Antigua Ports is going to be opening up a new terminal. So for those of you who have cruised to Antigua or your clients have gone, you will enter at St. John's, which is the capital city. And when you enter through St. John's, it's really, I guess you would say there are some berths. There are different uh, berths to get in, and it's really just sort of a shopping area that you come into. So not really a terminal. But what's happening now is that they're going to be building a new terminal. It's going to be 6,500 square feet or 603 square meters. It's really designed for home porting. So that's something that Antigua has started in the past about 3 years, where we have cruises that are leaving from Antigua and then returning, which is really great because you can have clients that can spend a day or two on island, and then they can take the cruises to different parts of the Caribbean and then come back to Antigua. So those home porting cruises are more luxury. So right now we have P&O Arvia, we have the Sea Dream 2, and we have the Viking cruises, and the ship is Viking Sea. So those are smaller, more luxury, more high-end cruises, which I think is fitting for Antigua as a destination. And they do home port out of Antigua. So the new cruise terminal is going to be able to accommodate them. It's of course going to have a duty-free shopping district, lots of retail spaces, restaurants, all of that. And it's really going to be set up so that guests who arrive from the airport can be transported down to the cruise port. They're going to have like their dedicated pick up and drop off area, which is something that's not quite there right now. So yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Of course, these are artists' renderings of what it will look like. They're gonna have pools and just kind of all of the amenities that guests can enjoy while they wait to get onto the cruise. All right, so that's it for infrastructure. And we're now going to move into dining. Antigua has lots of great food. Antiguans love to eat. Antiguans and Barbudans love to eat. And we have some really great updates with the restaurants that are on island. The first is the hut. So the hut is a new concept. Again, you're seeing here kind of that artist rendering. The hut is connected to Jumbi Bay. So Jumbi Bay is our very five-star luxury hotel, which is located on an island called Long Bay or Long Island, which is off the northern coast of Antigua. And what they've done, there's another island called Maiden Island. They're calling it now Little Jumbi Island. And on that island, they are adding the hut. Now, the hut is a restaurant concept that began in 2013 on the Isle of Wight in the UK. And the brand is really about being small, rustic, beach bar. That's kind of the vibe that it is in the Isle of Wight. So they're taking that concept and bringing it to the island off the coast of Antigua. Again, it's supposed to be very luxurious, more high-end kind of escape, like a private club. And they have a chef, Felipe Rubio, who I believe was used to be the chef at Nobu, and he is now going to be the chef at the hut. So really great addition to Antigua and Barbuda's product. Again, I think it really adds to that luxurious space where Antigua really operates. So that thing to watch as we get more information about the hut. Next up, we have the Reef, Green Island. Again, another private island off the coast of Antigua. And this one has been operating for a couple of years now, but it's not super well known. And I think the concept is quite similar to the hut. So we did want to let you know about it as it's still quite new. So the Reef restaurant, as you can see there, is just that tiny restaurant on this offshore island. You get it by boat. They are really big on using local ingredients, very seasonal. Their culinary philosophy kind of revolves around simplicity and sustainability. And you're going to hear a lot about that in this presentation, which I think is really great. A lot of the hotels and the restaurants, they're really being more mindful about the impact that they have on the islands. And I think us as locals as well are kind of demanding it, right? That people and companies that come to the island and operate are just more mindful that they impact the people who live on the island, they impact the economy, the farmers, and in a positive way. So as I said, the Reef is really concerned about sourcing fresh ingredients, local ingredients, and preparing dishes that have an Antiguan twist to maybe some international recipes in an international cuisine. And then next up is Rokuni. So Rokuni comes from the Rocks group. Now, many of you might know Share Rocks. Share Rocks is quite a popular restaurant on the western coast of Antigua. It operates out of the Coco Bay Hotel. Beautiful restaurant on the cliffside, kind of overlooking, the beautiful western coast of Antigua. And Rokuni is the sister property or the sister restaurant to Share Rocks, and it used to operate on the eastern side of the island. What they've done now is to relocate it to Sugar Ridge. So Sugar Ridge is not very far from Share Rocks. It is on that western side. It's close to the Jolly Harbor region, for those of you who know Antigua, and that really is a beautiful side of the island. I mean, the island is, beautiful all around, but just particularly on the west coast because that's the Caribbean Sea. It's much calmer. The water is really great. You can actually This is the Tamarind Hills behind me. And you're really seeing that beautiful quintessential soft powdery white sand and the turquoise waters. That's what you get on the western side. So I think it's a really great idea that they're moving over to that side of the island. They actually at the where they're located, it's not on a beach, but it's not very far away. It's kind of on a hill, so very lush. The Sugar Ridge area, they will be opening December 20th. And again, when you're talking about the concept, it's supposed to be sustainable, local. The design of the restaurant, as again, artist renderings are as you can see there, it's really supposed to be low impact and taking into consideration local materials and local design. So a really great concept. We're quite excited about this. And it again just adds more offerings. So when your clients do stay in Antigua, we know Canadians love all inclusives, but it does not hurt you to get off the resort and to try some of the really great local restaurants that exist and local activities and tours, etc. Um, so yes, there is a big social media campaign called Rokuni Reloaded, and they're really pushing this concept. So the Rocks Group, they do a really great job. They also operate Catherine's Cafe, which recently won an award for being the best beach bar in the Caribbean by the Caribbean Journal. So they do a really great job, and we're quite excited about this new location. All right, I know this is probably what you're all waiting for, hotel development. What is new and coming to Antigua and Barbuda? And I think it's quite exciting if you haven't heard. First off is Nikki Beach Club. So this is the first Nikki residences in the Caribbean. I believe they might have some other beach clubs that exist, but in addition to the beach club in Antigua, they're also going to have residences. Um, the Nikki Beach concept is quite interesting. If you're not familiar with it, Nikki Beach is very luxury. It began in Miami. Quite an interesting backstory. Jack Penrod is his name, and he and his wife, they really run the Nikki Beach Club and residences. And they lost their daughter to a car accident, and her name was Nicole. So it's really named after her. And they tried to bring, it said was like her personality to the concept. So it's very modern. It's kind of like laid back luxury, very chic, really beautiful properties. They have them in Monte Carlo, Mallorca, Santorini, really in those types of locations around the world. So for them to choose to put one in Antigua, I think speaks to like the level that Antigua kind of sits at when it comes to luxury in the Caribbean. And we're quite proud that this is coming on stream. So they've broken ground for it. This is going to be in the Jolly Harbor area. So for those of you who know Jolly Beach, the Jolly Beach Resort is one of Antigua's longest running, longest operated resorts, and it's on a beautiful beach, one of the best beaches on that, again, western coast. And this is going to be right next to the Jolly Beach, kind of between Jolly Beach and Jolly Harbor Marina, for those of you who know the area. And it's a great location, it's a great beach, and I think it's going to be a great addition. So it's set to open in 2028. The concept here is a hotel ownership model. So there will be an 82-room hotel, and then they're going to be these apartment and villas that are connected. So they're going to be private owners of the villas who will have the option of either, keeping it for themselves all year round if they want to do that, or they may use it for a portion of the year and then they return it to the hotel to be managed and to be offered for other people, for your guests, for your clients to use during the rest of the year when they're not using it. So, that's quite a common concept. Now, when people build hotels where it's both a hotel room and private residences in one. So yes, so again, artist renderings, you can see what it's going to look like. Quite beautiful. And They are really, again, pushing the sustainability and low impact, which I think is really the right fit for Antigua and Barbuda. Okay, next up, Nobu Beach in Barbuda. So I mentioned a chef from Nobu earlier, but Nobu operates in Barbuda, Nobu restaurant. It's you can see it in that picture at the top, kind of in the background. It's a really, really cool little addition to Barbuda. It's the only Nobu restaurant in the Eastern Caribbean. When you think of Nobu, you probably think of like Las Vegas and New York and Tokyo. But to have one in Barbuda is pretty special. And that brand is part owned by Robert De Niro. He's a longtime visitor to Barbuda. He's always loved it, and he wanted to put his brand there, so he put it there because, he's the boss. Um, but what they're doing now is to add a hotel, the Nobu Beach Inn, in addition to the restaurant. And the interesting fact is that this is going to be located right there on the same stretch of beach. This is called Princess Diana Beach, and they're taking over the former property called the K Club Resort. So the K Club is where Princess Diana used to stay with the young princes back in the 90s in Barbuda. It was the perfect getaway where she could escape, the spotlight and the paparazzi. And they named the beach after her because she was a frequent visitor. And so Robert De Niro took over that property, and that's where they're building. You can see the construction there. Wanted to show you it because we've been talking about it for a few years now, and you know how these things go. But finally, the construction has begun, so it's happening. We're quite excited about it. The anticipated opening is late 2025. It's going to be 76 guest rooms and suites. And there's going to be an organic farm. They're really committed to sustainability, sourcing local food and local employing locals as well to work there. And De Niro says the vision is for it to be a peaceful hideaway, which, as you see, is kind of true to what it was when Princess Diana was there. It's really about a hideaway. That's what Barbuda is. Barbuda is peaceful, it's quiet, it's nature. So you have to have the right clients for Barbuda. It's definitely not, party central, spring break beach. That's not the vibe. It is laid back, peaceful hideaway. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of booking Barbuda. And I also wanted to talk to you about the Hermitage Bay Resort, which is a beautiful resort in Antigua, which recently it's gotten a facelift. So the fun fact here is that uh, Hermitage Bay is now being operated by Luxury Hotel Partners, and the owner of that is Daniel Shamoun. He is also the operator of the Nobu Beach Inn. So while it's owned by Robert De Niro's company, it's going to be operated by Luxury Hotel Partners. So these are now sister resorts. And they also have lots of luxury resorts around the world. They have some in, I believe it's Marrakesh and some other places around the world. So, this is a serious company, and we're quite excited to have them operating in Antigua and Barbuda now. But in terms of Hermitage Bay, what they've done is to fully redesign the 30 villa suites that they have. These villas are either going to be only three categories. They're either beachfront, or they're in the gardens, or they're on the cliffside, the hillside. And so those are the three categories of the rooms. They're also they've added a beach grill, which is new. And then they've also kind of refreshed the main restaurant that they've had, that they've always had as well. So those are some of the new additions. They've also added some new experiences, such as a guided farm tour, weekly cooking classes. They've also had new water sports. So there is two speedboats and an authentic 103-foot sailing boat that they've added. And so you'll be able to take trips, deep sea fishing, sunset cruises, swimming and snorkeling, and they're also offering helicopter rides over to Barbuda, which, as I mentioned, is now their sister property. So you can enjoy lunch at yes, for sure, you agents are welcome, or your guests can enjoy lunch at the Nobu Barbuda. Also, the spa has been refreshed and they've added some new treatments there as well. So, really spruced it up. I mean, Hermitage Bay was already beautiful and peaceful and a really great resort. And with the new management, they've really spruced it up as well. Oh, I jumped a slide. Sandals Resorts, we just wanted to let you know that Sandals, maybe you've noticed if you tried booking a bit into the future that the Caribbean side has been two room blocks have been removed from booking because they're going to be renovated. So Sandals has been operating in Antigua since 1991, and the original resort is now what they call the Caribbean Village. And then in 2007, Sandals added the Mediterranean Village. So in this shot, what you're seeing really is that Mediterranean Village with the clay roof tiles and kind of that Mediterranean feel. In the background, you're seeing the Caribbean Village, but they're doing an extensive renovation to the Caribbean Village because what happens is every time Sandals opens a new resort, they outdo themselves. And so right now, the Sandals Antigua needs to be brought up to the level of luxury that you're seeing at some of the newer Sandals resorts. And so they've locked those down. Construction's going to be happening in 2025. And yeah, we're really excited to see what Sandals is going to come with because we know Sandals is a really Caribbean product. And I think, the results are going to be great. So this is something to look forward to for when this is completed. And Curtain Bluff. So again, more management changes here. Curtain Bluff has been operating in Antigua and Barbuda since 1962. It was actually opened by a pilot he actually was flying over and he saw the beach. So if you look at the bottom right picture, that is the beach, which you see the white foam. It kind of looks like a curtain. That's where the name comes from. It looks like when you have a white curtain kind of folded over on itself. So he was flying over as a pilot. He loved the beach. He opened a family-owned hotel there. And Curtain Bluff has been one of Antigua's most luxurious resorts since the 1960s. He has since passed. The owner, his wife, ran it. The family ran it. But now they've passed it over to some longtime guests, which is really impressive, right? That they've had these guests that would come and they fell in love with it. And that's Tim and Pat Scott, who are UK entrepreneurs. They've taken over ownership and they very proudly announced that they have kept all 230 of the employees and the management team. So they've kept them on board and they're going to be making some additions and improvements to Curtain Bluff. So for those of you who know it, it's a really special place. It operates on two beaches. They have lots of tennis, as you can see, tennis and pickleball, as you can see in the image there. And they're really known for like their wellness and sustainability. So they really push that. They also announced that they're going to have what they call mindful menus. So these are intended to be more healthy menus, and they're going to be using local ingredients such as sea moss, green papaya, mahi-mahi, breadfruit, sustainably caught Antigua and Barbuda spiny lobster. Those are the types of ingredients that they're planning to use with these new menus. They have their tennis courts. They do tennis tournaments there. Really big on fitness, yoga, Pilates. They actually added last year a new like fitness center that has yoga, a yoga pavilion and everything. So if you don't know Curtain Bluff, get acquainted with it. It's a really great resort and it's only going to get better under the new ownership that they have there. Okay, so that wraps up. That was a mouthful, but we had lots of great updates to share with you about the resort. So I hope you're as excited as we are and you're seeing the direction where Antigua is going in terms of luxury and sustainability and how we're combining those two. I also wanted to talk about tours and attractions because maybe one of the top 10 top 5 questions we always get is what is there to do in Antigua and Barbuda? What can my clients do? And as I said at the beginning of the presentation, the beach is just the beginning. There's quite a lot to do in Antigua and Barbuda. And these are some of the new things that are available. So we want to start with Coconut. This opened this year. This is run by a local young man, and quite proud to see him as a young person contributing to the tourism product and to create just something that is fun and safe for the whole family. So Kai Coconut is a catamaran. It operates in the Valley Church Beach area on the western coast, and it can hold up to 175 people. There are two decks, there's a slide, and really what it is a fee. So you pay like an entrance fee to get on, and then you have access to the entire boat. There are food and drinks, which are an additional cost for sale. And the top deck really is like the luxurious VIP section with day beds and a dedicated server for your clients that would want to do that. On Wednesdays, they have a sunset party, and every Friday they have Sun Splash Fridays. So kind of a bit of themed fun on Kai Coconut. Meal and drinks are available, as I said, for purchase, and the water slide access is free to everyone. They are closed on Tuesdays, so that's just something to keep in mind. And they're available for private functions. So maybe you might have a wedding group going down to Antigua, or a girls' trip or a boys' trip, and they want to kind of block off something to have some a private functions with their own fun, then that's available as well. So yeah, you can Google Kai Coconut and get more information. You can reach out to us and we can connect you. But this is a nice, cool, little fun thing to do. And the next up is Antigua House of Chocolate. So this is located in an area called Bay Gardens. It's in a suburb in Antigua. And what they offer is, well, they make chocolate and they sell it there. It's organic. They get their products from around the Caribbean, so St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica. They get the chocolate from there, and then they make it in Antigua, and it's sold in Antigua. What's new is that they are now offering classes, so you can go and you can learn how the chocolate is made, and you can participate, and then you can have the chocolate that you made. So it's a nice, unique uh, tour that's there to do, quite different. And for chocolate lovers, I think it's a really fun class to go and do the chocolate making. So we wanted to put this on your radar if you're not familiar with Antigua House of Chocolate. We are in a similar vein, we also have the Antigua Academy of Rum. I believe they opened like late last year, so still quite new. They operate at Galleon Beach in the southern part of the island of Antigua. And basically, it's a rum master class, and they'll teach you how to distill rum and how to make your own blend. And it's a 90-minute class. You, of course, get to make your own label. You get to name your rum. You get to take home a bottle. So you get a really unique gift to take home for your friends and family. I think it's quite a cool idea, and it's a really stunning location. Galleon Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches on the island as well, and this is in the area of English Falmouth Harbor's Nelson's Dockyard. For those of you who are familiar, it's quite a happening area of the island. Lots of bars and restaurants and activities on that side of the island. So a really great one to check out as well. Okay, and that is where I'm going to end the presentation. We just have a few more slides, and then I'll take your questions. We always encourage travel agents to take our specialist training course. The website is there, Antigua Barbuda TA, as in travel agent.com. They're just 5 simple modules. There are videos. They are in both French and English, and then you have to take some exams just to prove your knowledge, and then you get your Antigua and Barbuda specialist certification. Once you do that, you're able to log your bookings with us, and then through that, you can get prizes and gift cards. And of course, you will then be considered for FAMs when you register for our FAMs. We will have a few FAMs happening next year, and we always look at agents who are specialists to consider them for those farms. So you definitely want to try the Antigua and Barbuda TA website and get certified as a specialist. Social media links, you can take a picture of this slide. I always like to share this because maybe the next most frequent question I get is, do you have any images you can share with us? Is there anything I can put on my social media? So yes, 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 you can go to any of these links on our Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and you can feel free to take anything you see there, copy it, forward it, you can share it, you can use it to promote the destination to your clients and to really inspire them when they see those beautiful shots of those drone shots of the beach. So definitely take a screenshot of this slide so that you can have those links for future reference. And finally, I just wanted to share our contact information. I'm Kyle, I'm the marketing and communication manager. You definitely want to reach out to Gavin and Chamoy. They are our business development managers. You probably know them already. They're on the road. You see them at trade shows, you see them at events. They do lunch and learns. And so they're really go-to people. I'm also here. I'm happy to take your emails and answer your questions. So feel free to reach out to any of us in the Canada team. All right, I'm going to end my presentation now and turn back to Sabrina, and Sabrina will let me know if there are any questions.
There are so many great questions and feedback. And look, there's so much great feedback that even my headset got tangled in the excitement. And I know I'm going to try and speak a little bit louder. Hopefully, my voice is coming through clearly. But yeah, all this speaking that we do in sales and marketing is a lot. I hear you. What a
Yeah,
great presentation. Lots of oohs and ahs and beautiful comments. I'll go to Facebook first. I'll let you
sure.
know, agents, as I know you're super busy. Feel free to run if you have to. We will go through the questions live at this time if you'd like to stay on with us and listen in. So I've got a question here from our Facebook community. Can you give more detail on the recent updates to the Pineapple Resort, please?
The pineapple, you know what? I haven't seen it as yet. And Tamika, who's my boss, and Shamoy are going to be there next week. And I think they can give me some more details. What I've heard though is that they've really worked on the public areas. So the restaurants, and I heard that the restaurant looks amazing. But it's really the public areas that they've worked on. So the restaurant, the lobby, that sort of thing.
Okay, perfect. And I've got for the Facebook community here, Gavin and Chamoy's contact information for you. I've put it here in the chat as well. So, and maybe that will be something they'll post and share on social media. So keep looking out to those links for updates as well. Hello, dear Kyle. This is, oh, so happy to see you and listen to your presentation. That's from Celine. That's lovely.
Thank you.
Next question, when will the new cruise port be ready?
I don't think it won't be ready next year. I believe it might be a couple of years out. They haven't given a date for completion. I think they're being a bit cautious. But I'm sure it's at least a couple of years out.
Okay. And when using a cell phone, do you need an eSIM or have to use WhatsApp?
A cell phone in Antigua, you well, there are a few options. Yeah, eSIM would work. WhatsApp is great. So once you're connected to Wi-Fi, that's a great way to stay connected. And they're also local. They're the local telecoms companies, and you can get like a SIM, for the week or the 2 weeks that you're there. And I think that might be your best option. And you just get like a week's plan, and they're not too expensive because they're priced in the local currency, and just a great way to make sure you're connected and you can your family back home can stay connected with you.
That's right. Okay. And twofold question. If you
Sure.
had a tennis group, what resort would you send them to?
Okay.
And would there be tennis pros on site at the property, perhaps?
Those are great questions. Some do have them on site, and they're also like readily available locally where they can bring them into the resort. So I mentioned Curtain Bluff. We can start there. That's a great option as well. There's so many. There Carlisle Bay, which is not far from Curtain Bluff. They also have a great tennis program. and then a lot of the elite resorts because they have elite is quite big. Elite Island resorts, they're quite big on pickleball and tennis. So St. James, Pineapple, Veranda, they all have tennis and pickleball available.
That's great to know. And you can check out that the Elite Island Resorts on Spoiled Agent as well and take a look into that a little bit further. We just did a webinar yesterday, so there's plenty to see and learn about that as well. And
Yeah.
I will make sure to include the Antigua Barbuda link once again in the chat for Spoiled Agent, where you can find lots of details. Next one, does the Kai coconut boat stay stationary or does it take guests on tours?
Not tours, it's stationary and it's there. So basically it's a water park on the water. So that's the concept and it stays stationary. If you or your clients are interested in moving, there are many catamarans. There's Wadadley Cats, there's Tropical Adventures, the Excellence. They're quite boat tours and catamarans that are available for like sunset cruises, a lobster cruise, circumnav if you want to do that. So you can Google or reach out to me and I can recommend some if you want to do a moving cruise.
Okay, and they said thank you. You're very welcome. No question, just tell Tamika I say hi and hope she's been singing, Brian says.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian Bobroff.
Okay, I will let Tamika know, Brian. Tamika might be on the call. She said she'd try to listen in, so maybe she
Well, there
heard
you
that.
go. Maybe she heard that. Okay. And we should know and unmute her so she could sing.
Oh,
What
no, don't
is,
put her on the
put
spot.
her on the spot. Yeah, no, I'm teasing. What is your favorite boutique hotel other than Hermitage Bay for clients seeking quiet and relaxation and less children?
Oh, man, Hermitage is right up there. That's a really good one. I would look at Hammock Cove. So Hammock Cove is part of the Elite Island group, but they are their highest end. So they're 5 star. They're new. They opened just after COVID. So Hammock Cove for Elite. Hermitage Bay is a great one. Curtain Bluff as well, but Curtain Bluff, I believe takes families. So if you're talking adults only, then that wouldn't quite be the right fit. There's also Kiona. So Kiona Beach Resort is a great one. Coco Bay. Those are some great resorts if you're looking for that boutique, quiet, adults only.
Okay, and I'll share the Elite Island Resorts link for you all in the chat now. Next question, does the tennis court and pickleball court separate as the surfaces are different? My groups are avid tennis players.
I believe they just adjust the court with like different markings. Pretty sure that's what happens. So it's kind of like a multi-purpose, but they've had tennis tournaments there, and I think in December there's going to be a pickleball tournament. So I don't think you have anything to worry. You can definitely speak with Jackie. Jackie is the BDM for Elite Island, and she would have like the more specific information, but I'm quite confident they can handle whatever the needs are for your group.
Perfect. And I see a few questions in the chat before they run away and get buried. I'm going to answer them. And here comes Jackie's contact information for Elite in the chat box for all of you as well. Any update on the Royalton Antigua that you want to share? Question mark.
Any updates? None. There's nothing, no updates really. There is the Royalton Chic, so that opened in April. But I believe in last year's call, we spoke about the Royalton Chic because it's coming. So it's here, Royalton Chic, adults only. It's on a great beach, Dickinson Bay, right next to the Sandals. So a great adults only option. A bit more of a party vibe. Their whole theme is party your way. So they're very much about pump up the energy, have a lot of fun, which may or may not be right for your client. So you just have to match the right client to the right resort.
Okay. And another question, if a client purchases an all-inclusive, would the ferry be free or an additional cost?
The ferry, and I believe, are they referring the ferry to Barbuda? I believe that's what they're referring to.
Potentially,
It would
yes.
most like it will be in an additional cost. It's a separate private company, so it would be additional.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. We got a thumbs up and lots of hearts and reactions. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Kyle, that was a fantastic presentation and so interesting and leaving us with so much desire to visit your beautiful Twin Islands. I want to thank everyone for being here. We've reached the end of the Q&A as well. We'll know the winner of that, of the lucky agent who takes home the $50 Amazon gift card next week. So please watch your emails or cell phones for that special announcement. And thank you, Kyle. Do you have any last words you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, we'll definitely announce who the winner is. We always put it in our newsletter for transparency purposes, so everyone knows who the winner was. But thank you all so much, as I said, for taking the time out. I know it's a busy time of year. I know you were probably on your lunch break. So thank you for sharing it with me. I hope you got a lot of great information, a lot of inspiration. And if you have any questions, do reach out to us. Thank you, Spoil Agent. Just last week, I had an agent who said, Kyle, I saw you on the Spoil Agent webinar, and so I wanted to talk about Antigua, and that's exactly what we love. So you're reaching the right agents, and we love that. So thank you all. Have a great holiday season, and we will see you in the new year.
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you, everyone. And we hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks a
Thank
lot. Bye
you.
for now.